From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 23rd, 2022. We open with 2 terror attacks this morning in Jerusalem. Just after 7 a.m. local time in Israel, an explosive device was remotely detonated at a bus stop near the main entrance to the capital in Givat Shaul. And then just 30 minutes later, another explosion at the Ramot entrance bus stop. 16-year-old Israeli-Canadian yeshiva student Aryeh Shupak was killed and 22 people injured. Shupak was laid to rest later today. Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid sent his condolences to his family, saying he was a boy who never wronged anyone in the world and he was murdered simply because he was Jewish. Lapid said of the terrorists, "We will find them. If they resist, they will be eliminated. If not, we will punish them to the fullest extent of the law." Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he was incredibly saddened to learn about the death of a young Canadian in the terrorist attack in Jerusalem. He said Canada condemns this violence in the strongest possible terms. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Tom Nides said he was appalled by the cowardly terrorist attacks today that targeted innocent civilians, including children. He also noted that 2 of the wounded are American citizens. Writing, "As we head into Thanksgiving, I am grateful that they will recover. I pray for a peaceful holiday in the U.S., Jerusalem, or wherever you may be celebrating." And White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said the U.S. unequivocally condemns the acts of terror. She said the United States has offered all appropriate assistance to the government of Israel as it investigates the attack and works to bring the perpetrators to justice. The U.S. stands with the government and people of Israel. As President Biden emphasized during his visit to Israel in July, she said, "Our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad and unbreakable." And we will have more for you tonight on the terror attacks here on JBS. Also today, an Israeli teenager who was on life support at a hospital in the West Bank city of Jenin after a car crash there was kidnapped by Palestinian terrorists who are holding his body. 18-year-old Tiran Pharaoh, presumed dead, was from the Druze town of Dalit al-Carmel in northern Israel. He was critically injured in the accident and was taken to a hospital in Jenin because of the severity of his condition. Prime Minister Lapid warned if Tiran's body is not returned, the kidnappers will pay a heavy price. The state of Israel, he said, has been dealing with terrorism since the day it was founded. Our enemies need to know that we stand united and strong against them. We are one nation that knows how to stand together against those who seek our demise. The IDF said, by the way, that because of the recent events, IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant Colonel Aviv Kochavi decided to cut short his visit to the U.S. and return to Israel. He's expected to arrive tomorrow afternoon. Turning now to some other news, New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed legislation yesterday to combat hate and bias crimes, noting this comes days after the arrests of 2 men who threatened to attack a synagogue in New York and the deadly shooting at an LGBTQ club in Colorado. Hochul said, "After the devastating acts of hate and violence this weekend, I'm announcing new actions to combat hate crimes and keep New Yorkers safe. Those actions include boosting education efforts and encouraging security grant applications."
Will be defined by how we respond in this moment for generations to come, because this can be used and looked back upon through history as the turning point when this form of hatred and bigotry was rejected by the larger masses as a whole, where all New Yorkers stood up and said, "We are the same family."
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, November the 23rd. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 7:30, Joshua Cohen talks about his novel about the Netanyahus, awarded the 2022 Pulitzer Prize for fiction. At 8, the MirYam Institute hosts an emergency situational briefing about the 2 bus stop bombings that took place today in Jerusalem. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with activist, author, feminist icon, and founding editor of Ms. Magazine, Letty Cottin Pogrebin, who discusses her memoir, Shanda. At 10:30, it's Good Week Israel. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, November the 23rd, 2022. Tune in this Friday for a JBS News Features edition, and then we are back with the regular update on Monday. I'm Teisha Bader, wishing you a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Be well.